If we have learned one thing during this 2023-2024 bull market, it is do not bet against Solana. And those of you who bet against Solana, you're idiots. I say that as a person who just made a video on a Saturday saying that I think this next week could be bearish for Solana. However, I also did predict this price prediction almost down to the dollar. And Solana, right now, cooling off a little bit back down to 203, is on a tear, along with another coin that we have been bullish on here on the Investing Bros channel, AVAX. But in this video, we're going to talk about the bullish, we're going to talk about the bearish. In case you have not picked up on, if you have been watching our content here at Investing Bros for a while, I like 4 big coins. I got lots of holdings, but my 4 biggest holdings are Solana, AVAX, Cardano, and Chainlink. And in this video, I'm gonna just reference what is happening there, because 2 of these coins continue to outperform and just melt faces, literally. I think people are dying worldwide from the bullishness of these 2 coins. The other 2, while I still have a lot of hope in them long term, and I still am very bullish, they're not doing so much melting of faces here recently. They're kind of cooling off. But they're still doing some things that I find very interesting, and I think that should still keep you bullish on them. Today, let's take a look at our 4 coins here: Solana, AVAX, Cardano, Chainlink. Let's start with the bulls, talking about Solana. Now, Solana came here, and today, within the last hour and some change, got all the way up to $210. What? It's just ridiculous. Just continues to tear. Now, again, I here recently on Saturday made a video where I told you guys, T-Shrew and myself made some, we made an interesting wager. We have a competition to go the next Saturday, seeing who can make more money out of $100. I shorted Solana long term for the week because I think it's overextended. But I did say do not be surprised if it gets up here and touches 200. And in fact, if you go to our YouTube channel and then you go look at a video I posted about Solana last week, I put this green line right here about 206, so we outdid it. But I talked about Solana hitting this 206. This, of course, was the high from back in December of 2021. A significant level of resistance after the bear market kind of took some footing here. We rallied up to that level. I said, hey, keep an eye there. It could be interesting. On longer time frames, temporarily, we were starting to see some slowing down of momentum. But now, look at that, guys. 2 days ago, the money flow was going down. Now we're back going positive. So that's why I was a little bearish on Saturday. Let's see how that continues here. Now, we are seeing overextended still here on the daily chart using Lux Algo. Again, we're getting the reversal triangle here. The oscillators are crazy overextended. We are 100% overbought. However, if the bulls were to keep on pushing, what would that mean? Well, if you go out here to the weekly chart, we have a brand new take profit as low as $237. There's another level I think is a little bit lower than that, but $237. It also potentially is saying that take profit could bring us to a brand new all-time high, getting even as high as 272. But what do the other indicators say about it? Let's see what else is going on here. Now that we've taken out this level, let's go back down to the daily chart. You guys know I like to look at former tops and resistances. Well, above us here, you're going to see another level about 221. I think that's the next level to keep an eye on for sure. Seeing is that with this 221, we've had 2 levels of resistance way back in September of 2021, once again in October of 2021, before we would eventually hit that November high of 260, 270, 267, give or take. Those are going to be levels that are significant. You're also going to have this top right here around 245 that's going to get significant. But after that, I mean, in reality, I would not be surprised if we do see a breakthrough. Like if we reject at 220, 223, I think new all-time highs is the next leg. Like, I don't think there's any type of serious pullback. And when I say serious pullback, I want to make sure you guys understand what I'm talking about here. There should be some form of a pullback at some point. Bitcoin still in its own correction. This is important here, guys. Yes, it's over 67,000, but we were just at 73, almost 74,000 a couple days ago. Bitcoin looks like after coming back down below the previous all-time high of 69,000 and falling as low as 64.5, we've rallied back up and found some resistance here. It's easier if I give you a shorter timeline. We're finding some resistance there at that former all-time high, meaning that Bitcoin again, I think at least it's going to be dropping about 10% down to about 62,700. But I think there's a decent argument to say that Bitcoin should do what it's been doing this entire bull market and have itself another 20% pullback, just like we had back here in March, we had here in May, we had here in August, we had right here in January. I think a 20% pullback back down to around 57,000, give or take, back to this yellow line should make a lot of sense for Bitcoin. And I think altcoins would be not that far behind. Solana, historically during this whole market, has been making falls upwards of 40 to 50% back down. And when you have these parabolic runs like this, I think it's not really that crazy to think about Solana having a nice 40% pullback. I know this doesn't look like much. This looks like just a nice bull pennant because we had a very explosive Solana and a very casual sideways pullback. But what you guys don't realize, this was a 40% pullback, getting all the way up to 126 here back in December, and then falling, what was that number? Oh, look at that, 37% to the bottom there in January, back to $78 before taking this rally off again. Do not be surprised to see Solana take a 30 to 40% spill, and that's just a normal bullish trend here. Right now, again, I told you guys, keep an eye on that 206. We got to 210, but we're closing the daily candle, it looks like, back down below my green line right here. So where would a 40% pullback give us? All right, we're talking about potentially back to the high of 126, that high we had back here previously. Maybe the second one run around 120. I think this would be a very healthy and normal pullback for Solana to come back down to these levels. But again, as I said in the intro, only a fool and a stupid man bets against Solana. Let's go to our other massive bullish coin, another one that I am excited about its future. I'm very bullish on, and last week made a video. Go check out the channel. If you don't believe me, we got receipts here. Go to the videos here on Investing Bros. Go look at my price predictions, what I was talking about. I drew this red line here at $65.22. Well, we didn't quite get there. We wicked very, very close. We wicked where we get highs, $54.92. So, within $1, I definitely called it, which, by the way, this rally doesn't have to be over. We definitely could go back up. But as we approach that level here as well, we're sitting here saying, all right, well, if the bulls keep going, where could we get to? I think the next level is going to be somewhere here on 80, 82 cents. You guys can see that's where our logarithmic platinum pocket is sitting. If I were to go linear, that's where we're going to have our 0.5 level. After that, if we beat 80, now we're talking about $100 up in the golden pocket of the linear and that resistance we had in March of 2022. So that's the bullish side we're looking at here. And I do believe even if we go to the daily chart, let's go logarithmic again. Let's see what, Lux is saying we're probably done here, saying we hit our take profit. We're well within our red reversal. But if the bulls keep pushing, absolutely there is a chance that we hit the $80. But look for that. If we push through here, get above 65, your next levels you're watching, $80, $81, and then up above 100 is right around 101, give or take, is what we're looking for AVAX. But again, this is another project that if Bitcoin's going to correct, I would be surprised if AVAX doesn't do it as well. Now, this is one we can really only go off of one thing, because the bull market for AVAX, unlike some of the other projects like Solana and others, its bull market did not start until October of 2023. We've only had a couple pullbacks here. We had this first one where we hit $24. How far did we pull back? We pulled back about 23% within a couple of days, but you can see we've had a much more realistic, larger pullback here on AVAX more recently. This one stretching about 44%. Would not be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, to see a similar move. Again, at least 30%, if not closer to 40. That would put us, just so you guys know, 30%. We're talking about coming back down to these highs around 45. If we go to the full 40, we're talking about somewhere back down below $40, 38, give or take. I'll tell you what, I like this one a lot, because even though we had this high back here that went a little higher than it, there's this little level right here, this zone, hit resistance twice, and then we blasted through it, not really retesting it. So I like here, actually, instead of a 40% pullback like Solana, AVAX has been explosive, but not as explosive. Let's go a little more conservative here, saying a 30% pullback is the more realistic zone, and we're talking about $45, give or take, for AVAX. But again, you don't want to bet against Solana for sure. Recently, you really don't want to bet against AVAX too much. I am not suggesting shorting positions. I'm not suggesting selling all of your AVAX and Solana and waiting for these lower levels. I'm saying, hey, you might want to add more because this bull market could get even crazier for these coins. Look for those lower levels I'm just discussing there to go ahead and add to your bags. But now we've gotten the bullish coins out of the way. We're 9 minutes into the video. It's going to be a little longer than some of my other videos I made, but I'm going to kind of speed it up, get through this stuff. Hopefully you're tracking with me. Let's get to two of my favorite coins that have been a little more disappointing. First of all, we got to start with Cardano. I love Cardano, but it is back down below 70 cents. Did not get the same memo that Solana and AVAX had. It is falling. In fact, it is down right now. You know, we had that first little pullback here originally where we wicked down here and almost like a flash crash over a day after hitting a new high for the year of 28%. Now we've had another rise where we slightly set a new high for the year and then had ourselves a little 20% full pullback. Well, guess what? That means that even if this pullback continues, we don't have as much room to fall. Again, Cardano's one I'm going to put in the category of maybe a 30% pullback. 30%, let's go back here. That would bring us back down probably to about 56 cents. Unless something new and major happens, I think that would be a realistic level. Again, just like AVAX, not a lot of history of pullback here during the bull market. Its bull market really started back here in October, just like AVAX. The biggest one we had here after getting up to this white dotted line at 68 cents, give or take, we fell 34%. So again, another reason to think this one might not get another 40% pullback. I think it needs to wait for more explosiveness. Like when we cross $1 or maybe we get up to like 120, 150, then you're possibly saying, hey, is it time for Cardano to take like a 40% pullback, a healthy 40% pullback in a bull market? But for now, we haven't had those same explosive gains necessarily like Solana has. So unless something really bearish happens to Cardano, it's sitting in a really healthy spot right now, down almost 20% from the high for this year. Now, why is it rejecting right there? We talked pretty heavily about this. I told you guys that this level right here, 77 cents, is very significant. Yes, we wicked up a little higher towards 80 cents, but as a whole, you can see we're closing daily candles at that same level. This is a rising level of resistance we've had very long time historically here on Cardano. It was a very strong level of former support back here in March of 2022. And I told you, if we break this level with confidence, we might have a hiccup here on 90 cents, but I see us getting up above 110, pushing towards almost 130 before a lot of resistance. And when the train gets going on Cardano, watch it just explode through this white dotted line and shoot up to those levels. And again, that's then maybe when we're looking at, if we already pulled back down here, maybe we pull back just a little bit more if Bitcoin does. Maybe pull a little bit more down here towards 58, 55, your take. We shoot up. That's a really ugly line that I'm going to redraw for you guys because of how disgusting it was. We shoot up here towards 120, 130, and then that's when we potentially take a nice little spill back down to the white dotted line, find some support, and then we make even more bullish bull market moves. But Cardano, yes, it's been disappointing recently, but I really caution people on making investing decisions based off of recent boorish price action. Cardano is one of those coins, just like AVAX, boring bear market, pessimistic bear market, and then it takes off. There have been days and weeks, even throughout the recent months, where Cardano was one of the leading coins that everyone was talking about. I actually look at the boring downward action as a greater opportunity for bullish action right now on Cardano, not necessarily a negative thing. And you want to speak about negative thing, let's talk about Chainlink. This is a coin that I have predicted, ladies and gentlemen, could get to be the number 3 coin on CoinMarketCap. Guess what coin currently is number 3, though? It's not BNB anymore, and it's not Chainlink. It's Solana. However, I think Chainlink, sitting currently at number 14, could climb its way not only in the top 10, not only in the top 5, but potentially as high as the number 3 altcoin, who, Tether doesn't count. I'm not going to count that in my rankings. Number 3 altcoin behind Bitcoin and Ethereum, but it is doing a little bit of boring action. But guess what I called last week? Again, check receipts. I'm not here to just say I told you so and lead you astray. Go check the receipts. Made a video saying, look for a bounce back here at what? Around 1768. Well, guess what? This weekend we wicked about 1750 something. Pretty good call. Pretty good call, I would say. If that fall continues, again, if Bitcoin crashes, if Solana crashes, if Cardano and AVAX and other coins crash, I did tell you, hey, keep an eye on this range down here, down towards 1331, give or take, 1340. That's definitely within the cards. But this is a very healthy move. I love Chainlink from a trading perspective and also healthy bullish patterns. They're great at setting these ranges. We were in a range for over a year here since back in May of 2022. We finally broke out of it here in October. And then after setting a short range here between $17 almost and about $13, we broke out once again. Now we're using that former $17 resistance as support. We have a resistance level here at 22. I've told you guys, look, when we pop back up on Chainlink, and we will, look for maybe short-term resistance around $30. Then you're looking up towards $38 to $40. But there will be a day, I think, on Chainlink, guys, especially when we get into price discovery mode back above $55, that I think there will be days where it 2x's. I think that Chainlink is going to come like a roaring lion and have some massive gains. And ultimately, while some people are looking at Chainlink and saying, oh, it's boring, it's not doing anything, that just means it's delaying the awesome opportunity to get some more of it. I am not discouraged by its boringness. I'm actually very, very excited about it. Let's see what Luxalgo's saying right now. We're under a sell order, which again, hey, take profit, lowest level, kind of down towards that level I was discussing. We have the green support band. Wouldn't be surprised to see it fall back that much further. That would be roughly another 27% dip from where we currently are. This would be, as a whole, a 40% dip. Not necessarily the end of the world. We really haven't had big pullbacks on Chainlink throughout this bull market. You can see here we had a range where, again, for a year or so, we could see upwards of 40% pullbacks right there. During this little spot right here, we had, how big was this pullback? Let's take a look there. 30%. So, that would be a stretch to get all the way down there. You get 40%. That'd be the biggest one we've had more recently, but it's not out of the cards. And I'm telling you, that'd be a dream come true to buy somewhere around 1330. To me, though, I think even, if we get back down here towards 1666, I might just eat it if we drop a little lower and say that's a great entry to get a little bit more into my Chainlink bag. Explosiveness, I still believe, is coming. But let me know in the comments, do you disagree with this takes? Am I choosing the wrong 4 coins? Should I have a different coin in my top 4 groupings that I'm leaving out? Obviously, there's going to be coins out there that probably make a little bit more money, but these are 4 that I don't think are just going to have great bull markets this bull market. I think these are 4 that for the future could be sitting as the top 6 coins right there behind Bitcoin and Ethereum for the next couple of bull markets. But let me know in the comments what you think. Also, tomorrow we will discuss some of these AI tokens that are pumping. Of course, today is day 1 of that NVIDIA conference. Render is going nuts. Near is going nuts. NVIDIA is still going to new all-time highs. I will give you some of my thoughts tomorrow. Smash that like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you enjoyed the video. We are almost to 10,000, and you want to be one of those first 10K because Investing Bros, we're going places. We got some big things coming, but we need your help. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see the rest of you guys today at 3 p.m. for our live show. Adios.